YouTube? It's Cruz back with Toxic King. What's going on, guys? We got my guy once again.
Gmack.
What's going on, J-Mac? And today we got a special guest. We got
Pita.
Lupita Gonzalez. So, I've been wanting to do this a lot where I want girls on here because I want girls' perspectives on like, the toxic traits and things that guys do, but like what is it girls do differently, or like what is it we do that we should, change or stuff like that. You know what I'm saying, G-Mac?
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So, Pita, what's going on with you? How you been?
I'm good. I just thought though, like that's like the opposite of your toxic king vibe.
Well, so
Right? Like
calling you out right from the start.
Like no, I'm just being for real though. Like
like what do you mean? Like I'm like
no, just for your name though. Like
just for my name.
yeah.
So I'm gonna we got something releasing out pretty soon. Why we called it that?
Right.
But the thing is, like, I feel like toxicness is like a really big word very like recently, and it's like you hear these like stories and stuff, been going on with other people and their stories online and our friends in general. What you hear is toxic is like the biggest thing. Sometimes they might not say the word, but their stories, it's like, dude, you're toxic as shit. So
100%.
so my biggest thing is, so right now you're in a good relationship, right?
Yeah.
You got shout out Abe.
Yeah.
And but obviously pass. And so, like, what is it that's helping your past relationships to help you now where you're at now? Cause you guys, to me, when I see you guys out, you guys seem happy. You guys seem funny. Like, you guys, like, the pictures you guys post are, like, funny and cool. Like,
yeah.
and that's, like, the cute stuff, I guess. But
Right.
So what is it you think you learned from the past that helps you now in the present?
I think, honestly, not, like, the best way I can say this is, like, I didn't date a lot of people, but there's just some of the people that you date that aren't. You can just tell either they're not ready or like they're not that mature of a person in general, that it's like, oh yeah, like you realize like when it's too late or something, and it's like, yeah, you're not the person that I thought you were. Like you get past that honeymoon stage and then you get like to like real like where you think like fights aren't that little, but then they lead like other things and stuff like that. So like I think I've had that like enough like in past relationships where it's like, yeah, you're not who I thought you were. Now we have all this stuff, and then you just learn from that, and like you take that like for anyone, like you like see how those people act, and you don't want to be that way, so like you're not going to bring it to your relationship. And then if you do like notice other things like that, you either stop it or you like, acknowledge them and say, hey, like that's not cool and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then when you like acknowledge them and tell them like, hey, and then when you try to change things, it's like almost like if it's too late.
Right, and then that's when you have to realize like, okay, like what's like, obviously when I realized it was like, yeah, we just shouldn't date.
Shouldn't
we're
date.
not.
It's
Like,
not it. Better
not,
friends.
Not gonna force it, and if there's someone out there that's obviously better, you'll find it. I mean, that's how I got
Facts.
Abe.
Facts.
Yeah.
How'd you two like meet? How'd you two become like stuff like things of that nature? How'd you meet? How'd you guys start dating? Who asked who out?
Honestly,
I want to be nosy.
No, be nosy, because honestly, it's kind of funny that I think it was like 2 years ago we matched on Tinder, and we matched like 2 to 3 times since then. Yeah, and then like, so this recent time we didn't really talk, but I like joked about, yeah, I'm gonna go see you at the bar tonight, and I did. It was my birthday. It's the first time I could go out, so we met on my birthday night, and we got introduced. I'm like, yeah, this is my friend Pita, and he goes, hi. I was like, where was that energy when you were trying to message me on Tinder? But yeah, so we met from there, and we didn't like force anything. We would just hang out after the bar, and like then it was like not after the bar, and then it was like during the week, and honestly like a month after that we just started dating. Yeah.
Dang, so it was like a instant connection kind of feeling.
Right, and
that's cool. Those are cool.
Well, and that's like, it's weird because like I like to think that like I'm not like that kind of person like rushes into things, but like even though it seems rushed, it wasn't really rushed. Like it just felt like,
if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was smooth into. So okay, so the way you were talking is like right now. So you pretty much shot your shot because he shot, right? He's a shy dude, like look kinda.
Yeah, like on Tinder, like yeah, and stuff like that. But I think after that, it was more being like, oh, I want to see you more often. So like I shot my shot in that way of like, hey, you want to hang out? Like you want to do something? And like still, that was like me shooting my shot at that point.
So he was shy like on Tinder, but not in person?
Well, like on Tinder, it was like, no, it was the opposite. So on Tinder, he was like, oh, like you look like you could fuck on my mental health. Like, okay.
Right. Yeah. No. Okay. I was gonna say like that sounds more legit.
Right,
That's
like,
how it goes.
Ballsy because you're not saying it to someone's face.
Yeah.
But then in person, it was like he wasn't like acknowledging me that much. Like he knew I was there. He knew, but like it wasn't like out of his way to like really trying to like talk to me, which is
Yeah.
fine, I guess.
I
think
feel
that's why
that.
he was shy.
It's one of those things you see him across the bar. Oh, I didn't even know you were here, and that
Right.
kind of shit.
Oh,
like,
hey, when did you
yeah,
get here?
yeah.
But yeah, you
Oh,
seen-
exactly. No,
No,
you
we
knew.
made
You
eye
knew the whole
contact 5
time.
You
times.
saw her
Yeah,
walking
right,
in.
right. I know. I feel that.
Yeah.
So pretty much, it's like dudes quit being pussies, kind of situations. Cause I mean, do you know Dylan?
Yeah.
And then you know me. We're very loud people. So like, not
Yeah.
not every.
Yeah, it can be. Can be.
We can be like
couple
I-
drinks, I'll
I mean,
get there.
I don't think I'm shy. I don't think you're shy at all.
No, bro.
I'm one to.
No.
I have
Not at
no
all.
filter. I'm gonna say it how it is. I'm gonna.
But like in a good way. I think you can be like loud and like not in like loud, but like being a very like personal person, like being like outgoing and like actually like knowing how to communicate with people. Like
Yeah.
you guys are definitely like that.
So okay, so same topic, but another question. So do you think girls shooting their shot with guys? Do you think that should be like normalized, like a thing, like cool?
Yeah. See, and I guess like in my head, I thought it kind of was normalized because like again, like I would just do that. I would just ask to hang out and like in a way that like that is shooting your shot. But I guess I don't know. I haven't shot my shot in a while, or guys haven't done it. But it's like I think it's so normalized for guys because like when you go out to a bar, you're like, hey, like what's your snap? Like like
Your
I think
snap.
dudes are so used to doing that, and like girls like they just expect it. So I guess they don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
Right.
so.
I
That's
understand
true.
that.
hmm
So let's get back to the Tinder. Do you think like I've never gone on Tinder. Like I don't know how that works.
Really?
Never
I've
really.
never-
He's
I've
like,
I feel
Yeah,
like
I've been on
well,
it.
no, and I'm not on it currently, obviously, but I feel like everyone has at some point or another.
Yeah, like try it.
So how it like I don't know. I've never done like the
Bro,
online,
honestly,
like, the online.
In
How
my
is it?
opinion, if you're trying to like get into a relationship, like Tinder is not the
No,
place for
I
that
don't-
shit. I don't
Really?
believe in dating apps to actually meet genuine people and like build something. Like if you're trying to hook up with somebody, like yeah, get on one of those apps. But and they're not
No,
all like
honestly,
Tinder,
though,
but like
yeah.
Tinder especially, bro. Like not if you're genuinely trying to meet someone.
Right.
Absolutely not.
So, but
So you've never been on Tinder, like, ever?
I mean, I think when I was like back in like maybe college, North Carolina, I think we made one like just to be funny.
Right. Yeah.
but I think
That's
my-
always how it starts.
Well, I think my caption was like trying to find someone to go on like long walks on the beach.
Oh
and, like,
And everyone was
my-
like, no, this guy's,
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
what he
bro.
thought this
I don't know.
was.
no, no.
But I mean,
he
I've
doesn't know what
never-
this app is.
but after that, I just felt like I don't know. This wasn't for me. Maybe I'm a little like old fashioned. I don't know. I like the going out and socializing and meeting someone like that.
That's the way to do it, though. That's the way it should be,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
So another thing is okay. So pretty much normalize shooting your shot, and then Tinder dating, online dating is pretty much not it.
I think it depends. Like, I think it's a Tinder thing that it's like, yeah, it's like not even that serious. Like, don't try unless you like want just to hook
But
up.
I know
with
people.
someone.
But I know people that have done it. And they're still like
Oh yeah, like my mom and stepdad met on a dating app years ago, and they've been married for what 8 years now, going on.
Mhm.
Like, so it's possible. Just Tinder for sure is not one of them. But
not that.
I'm like you said. Like I like to get out and socialize and meet mutual friends, friends of friends. Like that's
Right.
how I prefer to meet people.
So pretty much it's 50-50. If you're loud like me and Dylan, go find someone out socializing. If you're shy and quiet,
Well, it's different for everybody, really. Like everyone has their own way to find people, but it's just what you prefer, I guess.
Well, that's what like Abe and I met on Tinder, but we literally didn't. We had. Damn, I'm spitting.
bunch of
We
mutual
had
friends.
one conversation, but yeah, we had so many mutual friends that like we were just bound to see each other like in public, So like it's like
gonna
that type
happen.
of thing where it's like, yeah, you met on Tinder, but it was more of like that outside shit. Yeah.
Okay. Our next topic I want to get into is beef. How do like were you ever in that phase where like Twitter beef was a big thing? Were you ever?
Oh, high school. I feel like high
Yeah,
school.
no,
that was
we
the
all
best
went
way
through
to
that.
be.
We all went through that.
Because we went through that.
You
but
and I went through that like against each other
quite
even.
a bit. So like ours was like, I don't know. You kind of just at your mom's house behind the phone, just
Yeah,
fucking-
no, you're
like,
just
tweeting
you're
what
tossing
you
little
think.
shots in the dark, subtweeting.
But
you
with
know.
like, but with girls, how like why do you think like Twitter beef usually started for girls? Like, what was it over like a dude or like someone wore something? They
I
didn't
feel like it
like?
was almost always over a dude
Probably.
in some way or another.
Low
I don't
key.
know.
Huh?
But
Yeah.
there's always like little. I think guys always think it's like guy problems, but there's like little girl drama where it's like you didn't invite me to hang out. Like what the heck? Or like
Yeah.
it's like little things like that where
Or
Right.
you like subtweet
You
about
subtweet,
somebody,
yeah,
and then
you
next time you
subtweet it.
why don't you at me?
Yeah, yeah.
literally
It's
every
one of those
time.
things.
things.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh my
Jesus
god.
Christ. Yeah, I know. I remember. I never beef with no one. I think I just I must have been bored, so I like included myself.
Yeah.
But when it was me and him, it was like I guess serious. But Yeah.
You guys would actually like beef like hard?
Well,
It depends. I don't
he
know.
didn't like me.
Well,
Oh, it's both of you guys. I thought you guys
Yeah,
would
no.
just both do it on your own.
no.
Oh no, it's me and him.
Yeah. It was when we
Woo!
first met. We talked about that in one of
Yeah,
the
he's like,
earlier
yeah.
pods, but like, yeah, we hated each other. So that's just the way it was. But you
Yeah.
didn't see
Guess
dudes do that
so.
too often. It's not a sexist thing. It's just,
I'm,
you know,
funny
it's
because,
girls
like-
and their little drama, and then they be petty and, you know, throw a tweet out there, whatever.
Yeah.
Never mention any names, but you know who it's at and
Yeah.
everything.
What was like? You don't gotta say no names, but what was like your worst like beef that just went on and kept going, and you're just like fuck, or like would you be the bigger person and just be like, let's just stop this and hit up that person, and be like, look, we're done here personally,
So,
or how would you handle those situations?
like in general, overall, like I'd say, like especially like recently, there's like things you can only do so much. Like you can't like force anyone to realize or force someone to do something that you want, and that's obvious. But it's like you can only say so much and be like, hey, like, can you just like be courteous and like, or can you consider how I'm feeling about this, or just anything in general. Like it's like stuff like that, just communicating, and you can like, you can't. I don't know. You can only communicate so much until like you're like, you know what? Let me be the bigger person. Let me just stop. You do you. This is obviously not meant to be like, we're not meant to be friends. We're not meant to be whatever.
Yeah.
We'll just lay back and whatever. So like that's when like I'm mature enough to be like, okay, I step back, but it's also like it's not resolved. So and like for me, I hate that. I hate not having resolved stuff because I'm like, you see someone in public and it's like
It's just
it's
awkward
weird,
all the
and then
time.
that's when it's like, okay, are we beefing because of that, or is it just like, okay, am I just really like,
being stubborn.
yeah, and like
Yeah.
I don't know,
Pettiness.
yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of how me and we're recently, like we just became like I guess friends again recently. Yeah, we were
Mhm.
like not beefing. It was a miscommunication thing, and like
We
I
just
don't
didn't
know.
talk, but then every time you see the person, it's like we don't dab each other up or look at each other. So it's
Yeah.
like, well, are we beefing or are we just like
Right,
not
it's
talking
awkward.
right
And
now?
we all have
Like,
this, and we have like the same, like we literally all our friends are literally all friends with each other.
we have so many mutual friends. It was just so awkward.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
we like.
but it's hard to be that bigger person, like try to go say hi or like
because
what's
you don't
up.
know like how what they're thinking, what
Exactly.
they've said. Because I definitely know like there's times where you're like, yeah, someone said so and so like this and this about you. I'm like, whoa,
He
yo,
should-
That's how it
what?
goes though. Like it's a lot of he said, she said
Yeah.
bullshit. Like
no, yeah,
none of that happens. It's just people are always out there to stir the pot because they want to see what happens
Oh,
with it.
yeah, I agree.
Like
Yeah, no, so yeah, so pretty much I hit up Dylan. I was like, yo, bro, like, first of all, I want you on the podcast. Second of all, like, I'm sorry, like, if I did anything to you, like, hurt your feelings, like, I apologize, dude. Cause like, I mean, me and Dylan been friends forever. Cause I've known you for like fat minute, like
Years. Yeah, years.
15, 16. I've known you forever, and then he's always been in my life too. So it's like one of those things that's like, dude, like, we're not gonna ruin what 6 years of friendship.
life's too
for-
short, honestly.
And then we're just, I don't know, we're old now. We're not.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, we're not in high school. We're literally adults. We have our own problems where you just understand each other, and like if you want to be friends and you want to just get over shit, you just acknowledge it.
Acknowledge it. All right. So pretty much, Dylan, you want to ask this next question here?
Yeah, this is my favorite question.
Oh, no.
I think it's a trademark question of the podcast. So what is your biggest toxic trait?
My biggest toxic trait, I feel like, okay, this is how toxic it is. Like toxic it is in my head that I think I'm right about it. I think I'm right about everything, which
Yeah.
I know I'm probably not, but I'm so headstrong and like I'll just be like such an ass about it.
That's
But
a
I'm
new
like,
one.
I'm
I
right,
like that.
I'm right. Like and there'd be times I'm like, you can tell me if I'm wrong, where I like gaslight them. No, it sounds bad.
Wow.
It sounds bad, but like that is like that's
It's
what
toxic.
It is.
No, that's
Yeah.
that's a great answer to the question. A lot of it's like communication or just like shutting. Like a lot of people that
Shutting
come on here
down.
said it's like shutting down, like not wanting
Yeah.
to talk about your problems or anything.
Uh-huh.
But that's a good one.
No, I'm the
that's
opposite of that.
different.
So in relationship, like, are you more vocal? Cause like, in past relationships for me, it'll be like our relation, our together toxic trait was we just ignore each other. Like we'd be petty. We wouldn't talk. Like let's say our locations were on. Like I obviously can see her snap. What she's
Right.
doing. She can see what I'm doing. So like for you, like in a together toxic trait, will you just like confront them and or we just like fight, argue, or just like ignore it? So it kind of fixes itself, I guess, in a way.
I guess right now, like I do acknowledge things. I do communicate as best as I can because I like again want to make sure like I'm heard and like actually like understood. So like stuff about like sharing locations and stuff like that. I think like that's when you come with being like with a mature person. Like we don't have our location, so I can be like checking it 24/7. But it's like, okay, dude is.
It's just
has
that
not said
trust.
anything.
At the
Yeah,
end of
it's
the
like-
day, you're not hiding anything.
It's like literally for like safety things, honestly. Like that's why my location share is my mom. It's like stuff like that where it's just like it's not to be like, oh my god, are you cheating on me? Like where are you? It's like,
Right.
oh, are you okay? You haven't responded in a while. Like, what if someone got in a car accident? Like, it's stuff like that where, you know, it's
Yeah.
just more of,
Yeah, that's kind of what maybe when I was like, I'm not gonna lie, when I was like maybe 16, 17, I just think Snap Maps like ruined a lot of stuff. Cause
Oh,
like,
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because you could see where everyone was at all
And,
the
like,
time.
what
Like
time,
everyone
like-
had it on, so it was
Yeah.
like when they were
And-
more mature, it's like,
and then if you were to turn it off, why'd you turn it off?
oh,
turn
exactly,
it
yeah.
off?
No,
What are you
people
doing?
go
What are you
psycho.
doing?
Like,
I
what are you
kinda-
doing? What are
And
you
then,
up to?
and then if you pop back up the next day in the morning, oh, so what were you doing last night?
Exactly.
Don't fucking worry about it. I don't know.
well, it is a little sus.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, for
It's-
sure, but that's
yeah,
why you
but it's
turned it
not like-
off.
yeah.
You know.
See, I used to have mine on the weekends because like when I was DJing really heavy every weekend, I leave mine on because I'd get the text, "Are you DJing tonight? What are you doing tonight? Like where are you at? Like, whoa. Like you know what? I'm just done replying all these messages because they know where I'm gonna be at every
Right.
weekend. So I turn it on and then people would show up. Maybe I think personally that was a big reason why people would show up because they saw my stamp location. Okay, Cruz is there. Must
Yeah,
be
I show up, I
DJing.
go,
Must be DJing, and then we just pretty much get lit. But so pretty much toxic trait is you like to be. That's good. So you like to be right.
well, I think I'm right, which is
think you're
it's
right.
toxic because obviously I'm probably not always right, and there's
Yeah.
Oh, so you just.
no, I think I'm always right about something, like not in a way that I'm like an asshole about it.
I
but
thought like
no,
because when I know I'm right, I'm gonna be like, look, listen, I'm right on this. But I don't know. Recently, and I'm older now, I kind of bite the bullet. So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it so it doesn't sound bad because it does sound bad. But it's
Just
like
say it.
like I'm just so headstrong with whatever I feel that I'm gonna like keep saying things, obviously to reassure what I think. But there could be where it's like I'm almost disregarding how that other person feels or how they said something where that's toxic because I'm so caught
Oh.
up in like what I think is true.
Oh wow, I see.
I
That's not no. That is.
don't know.
I like the way you. I like how you explain that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, but like, how's like your relationship and stuff now? Like, you guys pretty good, right?
It is good.
Been together for a minute.
Yeah, well, honestly, I think it's only been like 6 or 7 months, which it feels
Seems
like
like
a
a-
long time,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like
To me,
since
seems like a
summer till
while.
now, it does seem like a long time, but it's only been that long. We've grown a lot together and separately, and like from being in a relationship because I don't know. I feel like if you're not growing like together with that, and then but also learning like separately, then you're not really getting a lot out of a relationship. Like, what are you two together like doing? Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
if you're not like
Well, we're older
growing
now,
more?
so we like. I mean, I've told like me and Dylan talk like we're older now, so like we like dates because we obviously see something with you for a long time, like to
Right.
marry almost.
See, well, and there's some people that are like age, but they don't want to do that. Like they're literally out just here, just literally. All right, look, who am I gonna hook up with this weekend after the
Right.
bar?
Just
That's
slinging
how
dick.
that's how it is
Literally.
though. And you're always gonna have people like that, even
Right.
as we get older. It's just the way it is. But I agree with that. Like
I grew out of that.
you know, you
stage.
want to grow together, like you said, but you still need to like be yourself, be happy by yourself, all that. Work on yourself at the same time while working on each other. So I agree with that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
back to that, like also like with that whole phase thing, like that's a phase, huh? Like that's just like a phase that I feel like. I mean, like I've said in a recent podcast, like to face you kind of you know you sometimes got to go through to realize that that's not what you want. But from my experience and my advice, dude, like just find that one person because it makes life a million times easier, not just for yourself but for both of you. Your
Yeah.
mentality, you know, just like because I know guys that go out to like the bar and clubs because that's the one thing they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
to leave with somebody. And I know girls like that too. Me, I was talking to someone a while ago, and like Cruz, like, how do I get so and so? Like, what do I do? What do I do? I was like, bro, why do you come out just for that? Like, why don't you go out? See, I like going out because, you know, I'm either DJing or I'm there with like Santana, my buddy Jackson. You're there, Tony's there. Like, we're all there partying, and it's a good time to go on the weekend and see those people.
Right.
I don't know, but then again, it sounds hypocrite to me because before I was that guy that'd go out.
Well, and like you said,
realize
it
that.
was a
Yeah.
phase, but at the same time, like if you've been talking to someone, you're starting to talk to somebody, like you need to have a relationship outside of the bar, like when alcohol's not involved, like
100%.
like sober up and like
Yeah.
really get to know each other and shit. Because if you're just hooking up like after the bar and stuff, or even just talking after the bar, like liquor and stuff influences like how you see people, how you talk to people. Like you need to get to know them first. You know what I mean? Like you can't have a relationship with somebody through the bar.
Hell no.
Not like that, at least. Not a
Hell
serious
no.
relationship,
no,
anyway.
absolutely not. Yeah, not that.
But like what I like about you, Peter, what you do, what you and Abe do is like you'll literally when you get done work, you'll go sit there and be with them while he's working.
Yeah.
He's a bartender. And
Yeah.
you'll go sit there and I'm like, man, that's cool. Like you just go
Right.
hang out with them.
Yes, it like sometimes you just gotta make those sacrifices though because so I work at the school from 8 till 3, right?
Yeah.
And then right away after 3, I had to get ready I would work driver's ed. I would be an assistant. So I wouldn't get done till 6. So then after that, then I go, Abe works. And it's like, hey, you don't gotta stay all night. Like you can go home, you know. I'm like, well, yeah, but like I don't know, like you're gonna work this weekend, and I don't know if I'm gonna be exhausted from this week. So like I'd rather come now where it's chill, and then we can hang out, and then like so I don't have to worry about waking up at like 2 a.m. or staying up till 2 a.m. at the bar, and then waiting for him to
Yeah.
get off of work. Then so like it's like for our schedules, I like make a sacrifice to.
You
Like,
just
it's
make
not
it
like a
work, yeah.
sacrifice, but like you know, it's like
Those are little
that's
things
how
that
you
You're
do
just
it.
count.
making
Like,
it work,
yeah.
but that's what matters, you know.
So-
Those little things matter. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
even if your like boyfriend doesn't work at the bar, like hit him up, be like, yo, what are you doing? Go, go check up on him. Those little things do count. Yeah. Oh yeah.
When everyone works different shifts, different jobs, different days.
It's hard.
Some
You
people
just
only
gotta-
work weekends,
Mhm.
like so. You just have to find that time, and if you're not willing to, it's
Time
it's
out,
never
yeah.
gonna work.
No.
Dang.
Yeah.
No. Okay. So another
You
topic.
got that smile on your face.
Another topic is it's nothing like to. We can get a little serious here.
Okay.
It's like so you went through like the whole like well your parents are obviously not together, right?
No.
And neither were my story is a little weird, but I know how it goes with the whole like divorce and not being grown up. So how'd you grow up with like two Christmases and stuff like that and things of that, like
So,
how did it like better or like kind of affect your life growing up? Because you're 21.
21.
Yeah, so you're 21. So like, how'd you grow up and stuff with that?
So it was like, it was normalized. Like that was normal to me that cause I mean, since I've known apparently they filed when I was 3, but I don't know when they finalized it. And then as soon as like that happened, my dad found someone, and then I don't know how fast after my mom found someone as well, but at that point, that's what I could remember, that they had different people, and even though this is my mom and dad, they're not together. And honestly, there was a while when I was younger, and I'm like, I would like be mad at my mom, like, why aren't you with my dad? Why can't I just have like you guys together? And then after a while, you get used to it, and it's like, okay, I see dad Tuesday, Thursday, and every other weekend, and it's like I don't question it anymore, and it's normal, and then it's just like routine, and there's this and this and this, but it's like you get to the point where obviously you're growing older that you just like
Accept it.
but you also understand, like, you see your mom and dad you see them like talk to each other, and you're like, yeah, that's why you guys aren't together.
No,
Yep,
exactly. I was just about to say
why.
that. You know
And-
exactly why they split in the first place.
So that's obviously like a learning point for like, you know what, mom and dad went through this. I don't want to go through this. I don't want to put my children through this, because you experience stuff firsthand, and you're like, that's not cool. That's not how I want to live my life. And
Right.
so unfortunately, that had to happen, and they had to go through their things, and me and my siblings were obviously involved, and we had to deal with it too, like secondhand. But you learn from that for sure, 100%.
No, I feel that. Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing growing up, like, from a guy perspective, like, because I played a lot of sports when I was younger, is not having, like, my dad there, like, cheer you on and stuff like that. Because you had your dad there all the time at your
Yeah,
swings.
as much as he could.
As much as you could. See, I never saw, like, a male figure. Maybe, like, a couple soccer games, maybe 2 in my whole life. But the biggest thing was, like, here's what would get me to this day, like, I don't know, to this day, I'm still, like, if I were to have kids, like, dude, I'm going to make sure I'm there. It's like, when you get done with school, right? And, like, like, when we're little, like, the parents wait outside for you.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, when you like, oh, like, you just go outside and you see your parents, you run to them. And I see, like, all my friends go to, like, their dad. Their dad would be outside waiting for them. And here I'm walking to, like, one of my aunt's cars because she picked me, because my mom couldn't pick me up because she works later. Going to the after-school program right after. Like, that's what always got me. So, like, I don't know, growing up, my learning lesson was, like, that's not what I want my children to go to. So that was my biggest thing. I don't know how you, like so how did you really, because you're similar, right? You parents are separated.
Yeah, but I was a little bit older. I think I was 10, 11, maybe. Like, I wasn't super young. I was kind of old enough to understand
What was going on?
but
Yeah.
not completely. Like you said, until you grow up a little bit and you start to understand it more. But yeah, for me, it wasn't as hard at first, I guess. Like, at first, when it's all the fighting and it's getting finalized, like, yeah, like that was tough. But once you get past that, it's like, once they finally split and all the fighting stops, it's like you're kind of at peace. Because, yeah, it
Right.
sucks. You got to pack a bag to go to dad's house or this or that. And, but at least, like, there's not the constant fighting in the house and all that. So you get used to it, and it's always for the better,
Yeah.
It's not something I ever want to go through personally or put my future kids through, but it is something that, when it does happen, it's obviously for the best.
Yeah.
No, it is for the best. Yeah, I don't know. Me personally, that's just something I don't want like my future kids to go through and shit like that.
Never.
But
Absolutely not.
I mean, then again, shit happens for a reason. Not everyone's meant to be together. I mean, they have their kids or whatever, but
Right.
it is what it is. I mean, I hope you guys stay together with your guys' loved ones in the future for.
Yeah.
That's always the goal, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because me personally, I've never had like a growing up. I never grew up seeing like my family. Like no one really had a stable like marriage, so I never grew up watching that. So like, there was a time and place in my life where I thought like that shit wasn't for me. That's I don't use an excuse, but that's one reason why I feel like my relationship never worked out. Because I always had that picture in my head where it's like I didn't grow up seeing it. My thing, what's normalized to me is people were together for a little bit and they're done.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that was normal for me.
Yep.
But yeah, you grow up and you meet these people. Oh, we've been together for 35 years, 50 years. Like I'll DJ a
like,
wedding.
what?
People I've been
Yeah.
dating. We're gonna turn 92. We were married for 40. 9 years. Like Jesus Christ. So okay, so maybe this stuff does exist. So now I do want that, and it's like it is what it is. But speaking on the future though, like on this here, I don't like talking about 5 year, 5 year plans and shit like that because I feel like if you want to do something in life, you want to do it right now. Like for
Or at least
example,
set yourself up to
Right.
do it
or
in
have
the near
or
future.
or like have a path of where you want to go. So
Right.
like
Yeah.
for example, this podcast, I told Dylan like we should have been started this fucking 3-4 years ago, but we didn't because we're scared about people saying, people talking. Woo, woo.
Right.
It's always
so-
going to be those people out there.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Always.
So what's your like if you do? What's your 18 to like 20 like 2 year plan, like 18 months to 2 years? Like, do you have a plan?
Or what are your goals in
So-
the near future?
Right. So
Yeah.
I'm a very like day by day person just because that's how I live comfortably, knowing like, okay, tomorrow's a new day, like just mentally, it's just a good place for me to be. But
It's a lot less stress that way.
yeah, I do have like those like not long term, but long term being like about a year from now, which I have like just those goals. I don't have any more goals like past that. But within a year, like I hope to be I want to be moved out of state so bad. I want to be in Colorado. Like that's
Wow.
like
That's
that's
cool.
where I'm at
That's dope.
peace. And if I can do that with like Abe, of course, like someone that like I truly want to be with, that'd be even better.
So
So
you want to go over there?
I'm convinced if I told him I'd want to go to Mexico and live here, like, and he wouldn't know a word of like Spanish, he would do it. But
Really?
I swear, I think
That's
he would
cool.
just he would just
That's
do it.
cool.
But no, what a simp. No, but
For real. For real.
But no, yeah. So I want to do that, and I guess I think that always just trying to be financially stable is just going to be a goal because
Facts.
there's stuff that like comes up or it's just like she's like I had to pay in for taxes this like
Me
past
too.
month, and I was like,
holy fuck, me too.
ooh. I'm like, okay, now
Me
for
too.
my car payment, it's like I just know I don't know, like that's just always going to be a long term goal, like constantly stable, and that's just not going to
Stable.
end. But yeah, just move. I guess there's like I don't want to set too many expectations for myself because I know if I let myself down, like it's on me, and then I get frustrated on me. So it's honestly just those two things, and like obviously being with Abe, yeah,
Does he
That's good.
does Abe help you like mentally, like
100%.
emotionally,
like,
mentally?
Yeah, like process feelings, even if like he has no idea what's going on. He just finds a way, and it's just very comforting. Because I'm not a very like like love language, like physical touch, like words
Yeah.
of affirmation. I'm a very words of affirmations person. So it's like, it's gonna be fine. Like we're gonna do this and this and this, and like it's not gonna be that stuff where like, oh, like I'm saying this because you want to hear it. Like it's never that. It's like I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear, but I'm also gonna be very gentle because like you're like sensitive, you're vulnerable right now.
No, Abe's like is Abe emotional? He's,
Oh, I don't
he's-
mean to laugh. That's no, like, but yeah.
he seems like
Yeah.
because he's
Yeah.
he's a nice dude.
yeah.
So, okay. So speaking on that, so like me personally, like how I just said about the whole like mentally and stuff like that. So I'm talking to someone right now actually, and she like, and I texted her. I called her the other day. I was like, hey, cause it was after I got off the phone with you, cause I was so happy, cause like, for a second this shit wasn't like, this podcast, this whole thing wasn't connecting how I wanted it to work, and I was like really pissed off. But she was like helping me a lot. Like she was like, calm down, it's gonna work out. I was telling her about me and him, how I saw him. Just call him, like talk to him. It's like if you just talk to someone, it's gonna work out. And I'm like, let me just call him. Why don't I just do that? So after I got off the phone with him, me and him just had so many plans. The following weekend, like we had so many people scheduled to come, like film with us, and it happened. And then we got you on this. You're actually the first girl on this podcast.
Yeah.
So welcome, first toxic queen on the podcast. So, and then after I got done, I was like, I kind of have to, step back a little bit and say like, I call her and I was like, hey, like I just want to say thank you, and she's like, for what? I was like, because so like that girl just helped me like mentally, and I sat back and I was thankful. So I mean, little things like that, fellas. If your girl's like 10 toes down for you, she does that for you. I feel like thank her, here and there. It's nice, and you feel good, she'll feel good, and stuff like that. Like right, like
Yeah, I agree.
I
does
agree as a person just in general. It's like when you tell like a little kid like, "Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you doing that." And little kids are like, "Oh, you like that?" Like and they
Right.
like that. Like you feel good after being reassured. Like
Yeah.
positive reassurance for anyone goes a long way.
Yep.
exactly.
You feed off that for sure.
Mhm.
So okay, so this is probably gonna be our last question to kind of wrap up this pod. But what advice? Cause so we have pretty much our past fucking 8 videos are a bunch of dudes, a lot of our boys. But what advice could you give girls in high school? Cause right, you can tell you've been through a lot in high school. Like
Yeah.
you went through quite
Enough.
a bit.
Uh
Probably changed your hair maybe 7, 8 times,
Maybe like 30.
30 times.
Yeah.
So what advice could you give? Like, what advice would you give a young Pete, and what advice would you give girls entering high school?
um.
With like, first of all, just going through high school, and then second of all, in relationships.
So I guess in general, what I would say to myself when I was younger, or just like to any girl now, um, this could go for anyone right now actually, and like any girl, like make yourself a top priority, like make sure like especially in high school, like your grades are good, like you're keeping up with that stuff. Otherwise, like stuff like that takes like a like toll on your mental health, and that's definitely like the last thing you want to have to deal with, especially when you're stressed. And like high school's pretty serious. Like we don't realize that, but like that really does set you up for like the rest of your life. So you have to take that serious. And like boyfriends, like if it's necessary, I guess. But it's also like I definitely realized like I could have gone through high school without a boyfriend. I thought I needed to have a boyfriend or something. Like I don't know if I thought it would make me fit in, but like you don't need a boyfriend, and if you do, like I guess take it as seriously as you can. I don't know. It's like you have those people that are like, oh, like high school, like what is it, sweetheart, and they get married and stuff like that. Where like yeah, that definitely does happen, but
Not very often.
no, and it's like stuff like that where it's just like you got to let it go. Like I know my high school relationship that I had, I was like devastated. Like didn't eat for 3 days, lost 15
Damn.
pounds. Like that shit's serious. And it's
Yeah,
like
no,
there
it
was
is.
no, it did not have to be like that at all. So it's like you got to like, again, you got to focus on yourself. I guess that's just like the main thing, and make sure you're doing things that make you happy. Because shit, if you're not happy, I don't know how you're gonna be content in life with anything. You gotta have that self love, 100%.
Oh
Goes a
shit.
long way. Self care and everything.
Damn, that's a lot. So how would you?
Amen.
Okay, one more question for the both of you actually. So when you got over like a big relationship you were in, like how long would it take you? Like what would you do to like get over it? Cause right for both, cause so
Oh no.
because for like for the and no, I'll explain my reason too. I'll explain what I did, but for like but you two like for example, P, like what is it that helped you? Cause you can kind of like what helped you like.
Mm-hmm.
Was it, I don't know, reading a book, listening to a
So
song? I
no,
don't know.
no.
Reading a
Well, some
book.
people do. I
No,
mean,
no, I'm not
no.
knocking it. It was just
Right.
unexpected.
So I think recently, like I didn't cope well in high school with like relationships or anything. So like recent relationships that I had were like maybe they're just like things. I definitely would do things that I would enjoy doing, obviously. So it's like going on a hike. I know like that sounds like really bad because like
I like
I would go by myself, and so it's like wow, like you really have time to like really sit in your thoughts, but like it's only you, and it's like you're not like talking to other people, you're not getting influenced by other
Facts.
people. So like I would go do that. I would go on hikes by myself a lot. And honestly, I drive to Devil's Lake and I just sit in a hammock for like 2 hours,
Oh,
and I just like you just like process on your own. I don't know. It's the best thing for me to do. Just sit there.
What was like
That's key.
what was the longest? What was the longest to get to go over a relationship?
The longest?
Shit, mine
Sheesh.
was fuck to this day. Shit.
I don't
Yeah, for real.
know.
No, it always sticks with you in some sort of way.
Yeah, I don't know. I like to think I got over it pretty fast, but me pretty fast thinking is like months to a year, honestly, before you can really
Damn.
get out there and feel like you're not with someone else and like thinking about that other person yet. You know?
Shoot, for me, it took me to fucking let her go with somebody else to fuck. It took me to just fuck all kinds of bullshit. Like me to do some, like I said, stupid shit that I shouldn't have done. Just mine was more. I don't know. I think not trying to sound sexist, but as a guy perspective, we do like I don't know. I feel like we go a little more hardcore, but girls go through like emotional. You guys go emotionally like, huh? I just
Yeah.
I just like drink a lot. Like,
With all
I'm,
the crying and
Okay, that's why I
shit.
laughed when you said it, because
Yeah.
like I just like me. I
it's not. That's definitely not the way you should handle anything. And
No.
growing up, you realize that. But yeah, after a serious breakup, yeah, just
drinking a
go to
lot.
the start. I started going to bars, getting hammered all the time. Like I went through a lot of changes.
Spent a lot of money on weed, dude.
Oh, I think I
Oh,
actually
yeah,
did that.
that's honestly around the time
Yeah.
I started doing that kind of stuff too, and drinking, smoking. Going to parties. Like every weekend, I was at the bar at some party. Like that's definitely the most toxic way you can get over anything that's going on in your life.
Yeah.
Like you kind of said, like take some time to yourself and spend a lot of time with your family and friends, and like keep
Yeah.
them around you and have them build you up, and don't rush into anything else. That's like the biggest thing I tell people. Like don't rush into somebody else right away. Like
Hell
take some
no.
time to yourself, for a little bit before you go doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's fact.
You gotta find yourself first before you go and try to put that all on somebody else right away.
Mhm.
In my opinion.
So how did you get over things?
Yeah, bro, he's all making us. Do we got
Hey,
June
guys,
bug
we
in the
got-
background
we got-
over here?
we got
I
June bug
couldn't
in
keep
the
a straight face.
Making us laugh.
What's easy? Getting over? So what do you do? Self-improve.
Yeah.
Go to
Focus
the
on your
gym.
go to
Oh,
the
yeah,
gym.
going to the gym was a big
lose
thing.
lose 175 pounds like Junebug.
Go to the
No,
gym every
but that's
day.
key though. Self confidence though.
It
like,
is.
Being
No, it's a big
secure.
thing.
Yeah.
You gotta stick with it, But
Here, just tell him the mic quick. Tell him.
come on, Junebug.
The gym is key.
I'm literally in sweats.
I'm in June bugs out there. Words of wisdom.
When it comes to getting over a serious breakup or anything serious, a tragic event in your life, what should you do to better
I did have
yourself?
something crazy happen.
All right.
Ah.
You don't have to talk. No. If you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to talk about it. But like, what should you do to get over anything in that nature, of that nature?
I mean, I don't want to just say the gym because not everyone, not
No,
everyone
yeah.
goes to the gym. That's not really their thing. But like, you just gotta find a new hobby. Like for me, it was the gym. Like,
Something to keep busy, keep your mind
Yeah,
off
like-
shit. Yeah.
like going to the gym and tracking everything you eat all day. That really takes your mind off everything. Focusing on all your meals and all this shit. Like it's crazy. So like, yeah, you have to find something that just takes your mind off of it, and like, you just gotta focus on yourself.
Yes, sir.
Cause like,
agree.
so what I mean, us, you're pretty much unstoppable.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'll say I'm a little cooked, so I'm not.
I'm a little cook.
I'm a
See,
little
but that's-
cooked.
stuttering and shit.
That's the opposite of what I would do though. Of like I would go on hikes because I could go and I could constantly think and do things like that. Whereas like you guys feel like you guys have to be like occupied.
I do.
That's a
Okay.
good
I'm
alternative.
an overthinker myself. My anxiety gets bad sometimes. Like I'm trying to keep myself busy.
Thank you for
Do
coming
whatever
on.
I can.
Yeah.
But sitting in your own thoughts and just being with yourself, I could see how that would help. Like obviously everyone's different, so I do
Right.
see that too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean,
Bro, I can't. I can't.
Fredo's so funny, dude.
Oh God.
But no, man, no. Thank you guys for telling me, because I don't know. I'm not one to ask for help a lot. I don't like asking for help. I don't feel like I can do anything myself. Well, you can't. Everybody needs help. Everybody needs advice.
That needs to be normalized.
And advice needs to be normalized. Listening, normalize that.
Yeah,
And I think
taking
in
it in.
relationships, bro, listen to your partner. That goes a long ways. Because I started listening. I got to know her more.
As you should.
Uh,
We're not name dropping here on Toxic
name
Kings,
drop,
buddy.
but I got just stuff like that. I got to know her more. We're stronger now. We're doing things more. Like we get to go places more. But other than that, I mean, that's all I got for you, Pian. I just want to say thank you for coming on. It means a lot. You're our first girl on this
Thanks.
podcast.
Yeah. Nice to get some different insight for sure.
Oh yeah, that's the whole point of this. And do you think coming on this podcast were you like nervous or what? Because a lot of people get nervous. They say.
yeah, but it's also like I was actually talking to Abe beforehand. I was like, I'm kind of excited. Like Cruz and I have like that like brother sister relationship where it's like you can just like easily go back and forth or like give each other shit. So it's like that made me feel more at ease. But obviously like it's like, oh God, like how do I say things? How do I not say things wrong? Like that's kind of like nerve wracking. Like I mean like I'm
Just
not.
no name dropping. That's what.
No,
it is.
yeah, but like you know what I'm saying. Like it's just like you don't want to come off like wrong or like whatever. So
That's what I'm saying. No, yeah. Thank you for coming on.
thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Dylan, thank you for being another host. Once
Yes,
again,
sir.
guys, like if you guys want Dylan to be a host on this podcast. Right now, pretty
It's
much is the
GMAC.
host.
It's
GMAC,
GMAC, but yeah.
GMAC's not. We're not gonna give us government name like that. But
Giving all my address and shit.
no, yeah. And then Alfredo, once again, thank you for coming on again. Give him a little.
The June bug. Thanks for the guest appearance.
A little gem.
Always appreciated.
But no, like I said, I'm gonna put everyone's social media down below, even Alfredo's, a June bug, so you guys can go follow him. Once again, Pita, thank you for coming on. Means a lot to me and
For
Dylan.
sure.
But once again, guys, I'm Cruz from Toxic Kings.
G-Mag.
This is Gmack. That's
Pita.
and we out.